Hello everyone and welcome to Existential Gamers Live. Today, I am joined by the wise man and a great friend. And you guys have heard him before. His words of wisdom always ring in my ears, and I must say that I'm glad to have him back again. Give it up for Richard Holman, aka Nasota.
Hey yo.
I never get tired of that, sorry. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
It's going all right. Going all right. Today was pretty hectic, but you know, we managed. Yeah. Oh, and also today was sponsored by your favorite Disney movie. What that is, I don't know. We'll find out. Heyo, what's up, D1? How's it going? Good to see you. What is your favorite Disney movie? For sure.
Lilo and Stitch is definitely up there. The recent ones have been pretty good. Inside Out was solid. The recent animations have been respectable.
Which one?
I'm trying to think of like Inside Out was enjoyable. I really liked Coco. I thought Coco was awesome.
Oh,
It was
Coco,
how they
yeah.
represented it. I still have a major spot for Lilo and Stitch, though, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think everyone our age range kind of loved it, because it was that kind of chaos we knew as. Let's see. Who doesn't love Lion King?
That's true. Lion King was good. I still want to say probably oh, what did I say last time? I always love Ratatouille because I just love the whole like French dynamic. Like I love the music and the theming and everything. It's just really cool. And the cooking. I just love cooking. Like I always wanted to get like really good at cooking, but I never put in the time, I guess you could say. I put in a little bit of time.
It does require like constant
Yeah.
attempts, you know? There's multiple things I'm still trying to learn how to properly cook. Most of it being things that Kim has shown me.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the Westward Ho Trading Company. Since you like photography, take a look at our photo albums.
I'm good. D1. Oh shit, a rat. That's what, is that your response to seeing Minnie there? God. But yeah, I know the other day I said Mulan was one of my favorite movies, and like I said, kind of Cat brought that to my attention. I was just like, you know what, I actually do reference that movie a lot. I think one of my two favorite quotes is, "How did you miss? He was 5 feet in front of you." And then there was like, "All of China knows that you're here." I always love referencing those too. But
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your
yeah, that's good too. That one's just
pretty
good.
much most of Eddie Murphy's lines in that movie are fantastic.
So, I was gonna say if you wanted to customize a character for today.
Okay. Let's see, what do we have?
You can choose either between a shirt or costume.
Let's look.
They all just have the characters on them, pretty much. You want the Stitch?
Nah, let's keep going.
Zerg. You want to look at the costumes?
Yeah, let's look at the costumes.
Alright, let's see. We got fish suit, Woody, some Prince outfits, I guess. I don't freaking know. Peter Pan, Jungle Explorer, Gray Prince, more Prince stuff, okay. And a spacesuit and more Prince stuff.
Let's go with the Jungle Explorer.
Alright. Where's that at?
In hopes that The Rock can carry, that movie.
I hope you found what you were looking for.
Oh, man. I love the... Would you say that they did like good on that movie, the Jumanji movie?
You know, I would say yes because they decided to update it from a board game to a video game, but they still kind of went with this old school style, or at least with
Mm-hmm.
the Sweet Lives. Um,
Yeah, I got stuck.
uh, anything with The Rock and Kevin Hart. I mean,
Yeah.
they are solid. Jack Black is solid. I can't remember the actress's name, but she was funny in it too. So I think it was it was definitely respectable.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the second one because they came out with the second one really quickly.
Yeah. I haven't. I don't think I. No, wait. I think I have seen the second one, but I don't necessarily remember it too well, because it did kind of seem like it was just the same. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I remember. I'm starting to remember now. I forgot I went to go see it with Kat. Yeah, it was good actually. It was actually good. Now that I'm starting to remember it. I don't know why. Like at first I was just like, I don't remember anything from it. Now it's starting to come to me now. Yeah.
They even did I would say a slight homage for Robin Williams, of course,
Mm-hmm.
showing the place that he stayed at. Let's see.
So I was thinking of today. I was just gonna try to finish all these quests that I gotta freaking do.
Sure, let's do it.
Since we're in Frontierland, let's do this one. It said I gotta see Stinky Pete. That's the big guy, right?
That is the miner from the second Toy Story movie.
Ah, oh, there he is.
Yep.
I'm surprised they have him in here.
Yeah, he was technically a bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, him and Captain Hook are the only bad guys they have like out around here.
Yeah.
Expect you might have more use for it than me. Don't see many fish in a mine.
I can fish in this game? Oh yeah, I can.
In my youth, I fished up lots of things that weren't fish. Old boots, a tea kettle, even a broken saddle. It's a real banana.
I apologize, guys, for eating the apple right now, but I haven't really eaten much today. And I just came out of work, so I'm just like trying to snack.
No need to be afeared. I may be a little cantankerous. Now you watch yourself out
Yeah, you
there.
watch your cantankerous ass out of here. Alright, so let me see what I got for you. Some more questions. So actually this is a big one I actually had in my mind when I thought about talking to you while being at Disneyland, which is you know what? We'll go to that later. I want to talk about something. No, but D1 Zurg isn't like walking around. I haven't seen him at all. That is.
So here's why I would argue Zurg is not inherently a bad guy, is because by the end of the second movie, the extra Buzz Lightyear and Zurg are like doing a father and son thing, so it's kind of a misdirect. And even in the animated series, which was a good series by the way, he was a bit more cartoonish. Like, yeah, he was evil, but he was never really like a threat to Buzz. Oh, so that's where Kingdom Hearts 3 got it from.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they used to tell people to do it at Disneyland, like go find hidden Mickeys and take pictures of them. And yeah, like Kingdom Hearts 3 was like really like Disneyland pushing, like it went from just the Disney worlds to like more like, hey, you remember Disneyland's a thing? Oh, God.
Come back to it. Hey. I definitely preferred when it was just like the characters and they had a world based off the story rather than like based off the character's adventure itself. I noticed that with Hercules and with actually almost all the zones. Which is fine, you know.
Yeah, that was the weird thing about Kingdom Hearts 3 is that a lot of the worlds just felt like you're just there observing. You didn't really have any like input in the.
You had no agency in it.
Yeah.
Woody's gonna need some extra help rounding up the rustlers, and you could be just the person.
I need you to stop talking like that. What do I look like, a child? Do you see these shorts? These are not the shorts of a child. I feel like 5 now.
Stole your tongue. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Forget to see the sheriff. We should have visited here years ago.
How would you feel if you were like put into a child's body, like, but you still had the mind of an adult?
Oh, I would be so fucking happy. Don't even ask me that fucking question. I have
But
all
I
of the
did.
knowledge of an adult, but all of the carefree, like... I can't even be arrested for half the shit I would do, because I could claim to not know better and I could just play dumb.
Oh my god.
Like, oh, that's the best. You don't even have to go to school, but if you are... Like, that reminds me of the Conan, the age... what's it called? The anime, when the kid gets, like, he's like the stupid detective.
Brings things to life.
He's pretty much, you know, anime Sherlock Holmes, but he gets turned young.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can't, I remember the character's name is Conan, I just can't remember what it's called at the moment.
Huh, Conan.
I don't want to look that up, because it's bothering me.
Oh damn.
Anime Conan.
Big brain like Jimmy Neutron. I'm trying to. Oh wait, there's the subtitles. I wanted to turn this on for everybody. I wanted to do it at the beginning of the year, and I mean beginning of the year, beginning of the game, and I never did it. I was hoping there was a way to turn off the guy.
Oh, it's called Case Closed. That's what it was called. Case Closed.
Case
And the kid's
Clo-
name is Conan.
Oh yeah. I do remember that one. I was hoping I can turn off of the little tip dude that's constantly telling me to use my wand and shit. Like, I get it. I can use that stuff. I don't need you to tell me every 5 steps. Ugh.
But I do like the idea. Also, if you got turned young and you were like re-aging again, sure, there would be annoyances. But you would kind of get a do-over.
Yeah, that's true.
And I bet you're just right for the job.
How do you know that? Okay, what am I supposed to do?
It was your outfit. He summed you up with the outfit.
Dance, partner!
Oh. Thought he's gonna pull out a gun or something. Dance! Da, 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 da. Look at that smile, though. Why is Woody so smooth?
Aw.
That's sweeter than sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla. Isn't that an alcoholic drink? Or no?
I don't think that is.
What is sarsaparilla?
I too am curious. What is...
I always
what is
hear them.
sarsaparilla?
Oh, hey, another hidden Mickey.
What is sarsaparilla? It's a soft drink originally made from the Smilix ornata or other plants. Now sometimes made with artificial ingredients. In most Southeast Asian countries, is known as the common name as sorsi.
Oh, so like, okay,
This is a
so
soft drink.
Josh says it's like
Okay.
root beer.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep Google
sarsaparilla.
open on the other page.
Okay. Get all this free money. I don't know why the coin collecting reminds me of the Simpsons games, where you just kind of run around and like.
Yeah, very similar.
It gives me that. You shut up. No fireworks. Oh wait, that requires a gun. But I was gonna ask, how many times have you gone to Disneyland?
It's actually kind of up there. I was definitely a Disney child. We had
So very good to see you.
from like infancy to I want to say 11 or 12. It was probably once a year, 2 times a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my dad was really fond of like just not telling us that we were going to go and just like we'd get in the car expecting to go to school and he just wouldn't take us to school. He'd take us to Disneyland.
Not already.
Which I loved. Cause it was like if you know, cause he would do the drive as if though we were going to go to school and then he just would keep on driving. And if we hit the 60 freeway, we knew what was up.
Huh.
He would generally pick up my mom up on the way from work, and yeah, we would just go.
Huh.
So it was
That
it was always a nice surprise.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Just have fun over there.
Yeah.
And you never like got tired of it, like, cause I know, like, I was talking with
Oh,
Deacon
fuck no.
yesterday, and he just said that he got tired of being Disneyland.
I will say there was an age where I was like, there's not really any super fun rides, so we stopped.
Uh-huh.
But I know for my mom and my dad, it was also kind of good memories. They worked at Knott's Berry Farm growing up, from like 16 to 19. So
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
theme
I
park-
remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, theme parks were always kind of a fun thing.
Camera, take a picture.
Especially when we were little, we would go to Disneyland, just a whole bunch. We went when I was like 15 or 16. My sister was like 18. We were meeting family friends that we hadn't seen in like almost a decade. And the family had when we knew them, it was just almost identical family like us, older sister, little brother. At some point, they had another little boy. So he was about 8 or 9 at this point. And of course, 8 or 9-year-olds will become fond of, again, I was 15 or 16.
Uh-huh.
So he, like, clamored onto me.
You mind really quick, I just want to answer somebody's question in the chat. D1, no, I have not played Borderlands 3. I'm actually not a big fan of Borderlands, so I apologize. I don't really care to play it. But continue, Richard, sorry, I just want to answer that.
Oh, no problem. You've been disarmed. Play one-handed. But, yeah, so...
I'm just gonna eat my apple then, for you guys. But continue, Richard, I'm listening.
Actually, that's a funny aspect. Disneyland from, like, I would say 1 to 12, like, early on in your life, if you have a family that can afford it, because it isn't cheap, let's be real, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can be a lot of fun. Especially for families where, you want to create memories. That's kind of the whole point of Disneyland, is literally it's there for you to create, like, good memories for your kids. To try. Whether that succeeds or fails depends on your family dynamic and all that shit. Like, those aren't factors they can control. They just provide an expensive place where you can do it.
Yeah.
I would... However, my bigger point is, it's been historically known that around 13, 14, 15, family members, if everyone is kind of above that age, the magic of Disney does kind of, like, die off.
Yeah,
That looks like a job for your magic wand.
Like, that's definitely what I've noticed, is it just
I can see that.
kind of falls.
But at the same time, I guess it just depends who you're hanging out with. If everyone's kind of in that mood, or just like, yeah, this is for kids and stuff. Because, like, I have a couple friends who are like that, where, like, they're like, oh, I'm an adult now, I gotta do these things. It's just like,
Well,
you can still enjoy yourself.
3 years ago, this was before I moved to where I moved in San Diego. I went to Disneyland. We couldn't get BlizzCon tickets, but we decided, fuck it, we'll go to Disneyland instead. I went with a couple guildies, and I would say we had more or less had a good time. You still can't have a good time even as a grown adult. Like, you can still go. They really need to. Dude, that ride always breaks down.
Oh my god, it's my most favorite ride though. You go to hell in that game, in that ride.
Yeah, you do actually.
That's why I like it.
But man, it breaks down all the time. Anytime I've ever ridden on it, it's always broken down. In hell. Like, that
yeah,
really messes with you as a kid.
And it's hot in that room, too. I do remember that.
Yeah.
It would break down. I would be in that room, too. I do remember that. Oh, my God.
I swear to God, they do it on purpose. I feel like they really do it on purpose.
We need to scare this kid straight. Let's lock him in the hell room for a bit.
There's nothing like seeing people.
Every time. Every freaking time.
You know, I'm a little sad that they didn't have like weather changes in this game, or like not weather changes, but like day and night at least. Because I think there's something magical about the nighttime during Disneyland as well.
You know, at first I was gonna sit there and be like, weather changes really, but day and night I think would be like, if they had all the lights come on, it would be kind of cool. Because Disneyland is beautiful at night. I do very much remember that. Because for a good while, we used to sit there, we would watch the light parades, we would watch all those special events.
Yeah.
Again, as we got older, we're kind of like, okay, we've seen it before, we can go home. Like, you know, just being real, we can go home now. We're here for the rides, we're here for the fun, we're here because, you know, Dad has the day off, Mom got the day off early, so fuck it. Like, school is school.
Oh,
I was looking through the
this
archives
apple is
of the
really
house
Oh,
good.
he looks really plastic.
spyglass. According to
I know,
the
everybody
instructions,
looks like plastic.
It reveals that which no eye can see. Something tells
I didn't
me
even notice
you-
yesterday that his head is like weirdly shaped.
Mm-hmm.
Knew you'd figure out that spyglass I gave you. Keep looking for more mysteries to
Oh,
uncover.
did I figure it out? I didn't do shit.
Bye for now, and let me know when you find some more
I'm
dates.
surprised they don't have an Aladdin ride. Like, I know they have this thing.
No wonder they kept it.
Yeah, that's not a ride. That's a
It's
little, like, they
not.
literally just redo the movie in front of you and a lot quicker.
And
From what I can recall.
I think they got rid of it too.
Yeah, they did. I don't know where it's at anymore, but...
That sucks. I mean, some shout out to Aladdin.
When it comes to, like, the fun rides, though, it's definitely Indiana Jones
yeah.
and Splash Mountain.
I'm
Like,
sad that's not a thing.
wait, they don't even have it?
They have, okay, look, it's there. But I guess because it's Indiana Jones, like all the like
Oh,
third
the ones
party
that have...
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Tarzan, they couldn't
Man.
even say Tarzan. It's not even there. Like there's no sign for it or nothing.
Wait, why not? Tarzan's not owned by anyone.
Tarzan's not owned by Disney though. Like even in Kingdom Hearts, they're not even allowed to use Tarzan anymore. They used it in the first game, but they can't use it anymore.
Why not? That FYI, that
Got a blaster right
that copyright has been free for years. It's an old story.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I'm a little perplexed. I'm very curious about that because it's a really old story.
All right, I'm done with my apple. Almost. All right. I am now satisfied, everybody. All right, can I use both my hands now to make this a little bit more quick?
Yeah, it was making well. That was to let you eat.
Yeah.
That's a good cafe. Oh well, that's Pirates of the Caribbean, but the cafe too. It's pretty good.
I always every time I go here, I always make sure to get the clam chowder. There's a chance to run the clam chowder, please. Oh. All right, we're gonna go see Stitch.
Well, hello again.
Well, goodbye. Yo, what up, Junior? What's up? The sunlight, it never changes. It's driving me insane. Ah.
Stuff gets hidden up high. So if you spot something,
Man, everyone has quests for me now.
Sorry I wandered off. I was watching Shanti carry water jars on her head. Boy, I wish I could do that.
No, that's not what you were wishing. You were watching her.
I always drop them. Guess I had to practice, huh?
You just wanted
He
to
was
look
hoping
at it.
she'd spill the water on herself.
Yeah. Let's be honest, kid. Let's be honest.
Oh, what do you want to? I'll see you around.
I gotta go,
Keep
buddy.
looking for more jars.
You know, he's sitting there. He's like, why couldn't we have been a tribe that doesn't believe in Cliff?
Look like one cool cat.
But I'm a human. All right. So we're gonna go talk to Twitch to Stitch. Oh, hey, a jar.
I wonder if they could fix my watch.
So what is the? They didn't even explain to me what the damn
So adventurous. I bet
spyglass.
that spyglass sees places we can't see ourselves, like hidden stuff.
Wait, maybe I can use it on the
Boys
chest.
will see how it works.
Yeah,
Look at that.
maybe.
There's gotta be something.
Yo, even Junior 92. Don't know who that is.
Chillier than
Oh yeah,
I don't know
that's,
any of
that's
your people.
Junior.
Oh, we're warming up popcorn
Here we go.
now.
Let me see.
Yeah. Oh.
Crack it open.
Oh, that's how you. Okay, we can get chest now.
Captain Hook.
But what if I want to? It's actually surprisingly. I mean, a lot of this is just busy work. It's not really fun. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of surprise. There's a lot to do in this game.
He's over there.
It's just not fun. Just whatever. Just quests. You know, I was actually gonna ask you that too. How do you ever have one of those days where like you're just focused on your main quest, and then suddenly everyone thinks that their side quest means anything to you, and you just kind of like fuck off. Now, of course, I'm using gaming, you know, and not like what's the word? Terminology. Ooh. But what I'm meaning is like you're focused on your thing, and then everyone thinks that they need you need to focus on their thing, and you're just kind of like, no, I'm doing my thing here.
Rare Bear has something for you. You must have really
Yeah, that link checks out. That link really checks out.
What is that?
Presidential choice by first name.
Presidential
Yeah.
choice?
Yeah, presidential choice is by first name. It showed like percentage of like 17,000 people.
Uh-huh.
And their names.
You not forget flowers. I know. Stitch can't wait. See me? My name's Stitch.
Yeah, you know, you can do it for XP and items. I guess you just gotta go in with a positive mindset. But if you're always doing side quests and then, like, you know, you never get to do your main... You know, it's not like a game where, you know, eventually... You have all the time in the world, eventually you can do that main quest. No, your main quests are timed in real life, man. You gotta get them done. Otherwise, you fail. Then you get put on another main quest, and you lose out on special gear and titles and stuff like that. I don't know. That's how I felt today. I was just trying to get my job done, and like I just felt like everybody else was just like, "This is important. This is important." I'm just like, "No, fuck you. I got things to do, man." Damn. But I don't know. I don't know if you ever have one of those days, Richard.
Yeah, well, I just don't care. I'm just like, no, yeah, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do any of that. None of that noise. None of that nonsense.
Oh, goodbye.
I'm doing what I want to do.
Oh, I clicked out of the game. Okay.
makes me want to dance along.
Don't be rhyming. Jesus Christ, you get a lot of coins on these. There's not even a lot to spend these coins on, like, honestly. Oh, with all the costumes and stuff, like, come on. They should have locked up wings and had you buy them. Give me that shit. So, what's your favorite ride in Disneyland?
So it's definitely changed throughout the ages. As of right now, I have to say my favorite is most likely Indiana Jones or Splash Mountain. I used to love the old rockets, not the new ones, not the one that spins around on the ground, but the one that lifted you off, like you had to go up the elevator.
Uh-huh.
So it had like its own platform. I love that one. That one was taken out back in like 2000 when they also tried to make that fast speed ramp. Not ramp, but it was like the fast people mover.
Yeah.
It broke down all the time. It was only active for like a year, maybe two.
I'm trying to grab it. Oh my god. I finally got it. Sorry.
Has anyone seen Jack?
No problem.
Oh, I hope that mean old cat Lucifer hasn't been. Why, that's perfect. It's just what we.
I think we're gonna
need
get a
to
new outfit
finish
right
up.
now.
Perhaps we could go to the ball together.
Oh.
And if you happen to
Oh.
find more thread, please do bring it to me.
Look, if Genie
I'm
gets
sure we can
arrested
put it
for
to
anything,
good
just
use.
remember, I wasn't a part of that. I was not an accomplice. Did you see yesterday how Genie wanted us to take pictures of all the
I see
princesses?
you like to take your time.
Yeah, I saw a bit of that.
I was just like, really? Okay.
Quite a lot for all the things we've planned.
Wait, what? I gotta get
Leave it to
more?
you.
God, lady.
So yeah, when I was young, it was the rockets and the teacups. And the reason I love the teacups
Mhm.
is because my dad could spin it so fast.
My name's Pinocchio.
Gosh, I never had a toffee apple before.
Because of course when you're little, you can't really spin that,
Buy me some?
Yeah, you can't spin it that fast.
yeah, you couldn't spin it that fast. You know, my dad being a grown man in the military, fucking muscles galore, he would spin it so fast, I couldn't stay in the seat. It would literally, like, the force, and also I was so tiny, would force me to the ground. In fact, we actually almost got in trouble. We almost got kicked out.
I don't think you can spin it faster.
He was spinning it, and because he was spinning it, I was near the edge. Usually, they knew better. They would put me like in the middle or as far away from the door as possible.
Mm-hmm.
My dad wasn't paying attention. My mom wasn't feeling too well because of how fast my dad was spinning, so she's standing outside watching. And he's spinning, and like I felt myself sliding. You don't have anything to hold on to.
Yeah, you just gotta slide into
So
each
I'm
other.
sliding against my will out of the cup.
Oh,
And I'm literally, my legs are outside the cup. I'm holding on to the door.
You may call me Alice. Oh dear.
And,
Having a bit of trouble in this
like,
curious
once the ride was
place.
done, the person, you know, the 18-year-old was not paying any attention. The ride's going. Terry's saying that, like, oh my fucking god, Bob's about to kill my son. And the ride stops.
Thank you.
And he sees me legs outside the door, and he's like, "Oh shit!" I'm just like, "You fucking bastard!"
Why don't you speak with him?
He's seen me with that face ever since I was little. He's seen me with that face when he would tell my mom things like, "Babies float," and just tossed me in a lake, and I didn't float. A solid,
God.
10 seconds goes by, and he's just kind of like, "Oh shit." Not all babies float, apparently.
Oh my god, dude.
And he jumped in, brought me up. I'm sputtering because I wasn't expecting that,
Yeah.
I'm sputtering. And apparently I gave him a look. And I have this look whenever he annoys me, too. Apparently I've had it since a very early age of, "You're so... I fuck... You motherfucker," just a look of, I don't hate you, but were you the one that had to make me?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember one time I that's how like I learned to swim too, cause I got thrown into the pool and I almost drowned. And there was this lady watching me drown, and she's just like, "Oh, look at him, he's trying to swim," and I'm just like, "Lady, I am dying here." It was pretty stupid, but my cousin ended up saving me.
I'll take a moment to think about that ribbon.
Really? Oh, fuck you, man. I don't want to go get no pictures. What do I look like, an explorer? Don't answer that.
I loved the old Space Mountain. The new one is okay. I love the old one so much more.
Oh, you want to explain where you got your name Nasota from?
Nasota. There's a couple different reasons, but ultimately, I was trying to think of a name for my character in World of Warcraft, and I couldn't think of one. And just so happens, my sister, trying to be, a nice older sister, she asked me if I wanted a glass of water, and I said, "Nah, soda. I want soda."
Yep.
I like soda. I want soda. So, I was kind of thinking about it. I went, "Nah, soda." But I didn't like the duh. I didn't like the soft D, so that's not big. So I went with the ta, the more hard T of it, so not sota. So it doesn't inherently have any meaning. It wasn't until I was older I realized that, you can spell either O Santa or O Satan.
Wow, you just point and click at it. I wish it was that easy in real life, dude.
Accidental there.
Whoa! Magic coins! What is this, a wishing well?
Shut up. Hey, Josh
I
actually...
the druid that is... Well, I know he's just fucking around, but... A hedge druid is a druid that is a solace believer. In a sense, they believe a culmination of ideas or principles, but they don't really have a community. They're not supposed to. The hedge is the reference between our world and another world, whether it's another dimension, another plane of existence, another way to perceive the world. It's just a terminology there. And a hedge druid tries to ride the balance between the two of them. You don't ignore your world, but you also don't claim that your world is the only one there is. You try to respect the nature of existence for what you know it to be. And to be fair, we don't really fully know. I have my fair share of experiences that have left me to believe this probably isn't it. Or this isn't the only thing here. Let's be honest. However, that's what a hedge druid is. It's just a solace believer of their own faith, ultimately.
You ever looked into? Oh, go ahead. If you were gonna say something else.
Oh no, that's pretty much it.
I was gonna say, have you ever looked into the different what is it? The different thing? I forgot what they call them, but like the different minds of the like Indian yogis, like the way that they believe in like different aspects of the mind.
A very little bit, but not too much. If you want to go into it, I'm curious.
I wrote everything down in my book because I was curious about it, and I like kind of like the terminology they gave and stuff like that. What was I gonna say? So they apparently have like 4, or they probably have more than that, but the 4 I remember, they have, and I'm probably gonna butcher these names, but they have things like the Buddha, like Buddhi or something like that, Buddhi, and pretty much that is like intelligence. It's kind of like the intelligence that we put in computers and stuff like that. It's pretty much the part of the brain that just allows us to make conclusions and permutations and stuff like that, calculations.
So
and
the ability of thought, let's say.
In a sense, like you gather data, right? You have your 5 senses or whatever senses you believe.
Okay.
And that gathers all the data, and then your buddhi or intelligence uses that to calculate and give you those thoughts that you can now weigh
the perception of what you've collected.
Yeah, and so the intelligence creates those conclusions, whatever, and then that is weighed against your and I forget what they call this one. It's Ankara or something like that. Ankara, and it's pretty much your identity. It's who you are as a person. And
so your ego, in a way.
Yeah, in a sense, your ego.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, not to interrupt you, because I do find that interesting. I find the whole aspect of how these words, terms, and phrases, how kind of like we can say ego, and it's in essence the same idea, but from a different culture, from a slightly different perspective and standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
sorry, I'm just surprised how excited he is just to see a bedroom.
Well,
he's probably happy that he's finally home somewhere that's like a house.
Somewhere that isn't Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, continue. Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if I'd want to be like a boy forever. I don't mind being able to, like, let's say, go backwards.
Yeah, but grow up again. But yeah, being a boy
forever,
like
growing up again, especially with the knowledge, that question from earlier. But
yeah.
Just follow Tink and you'll catch up to me in no time.
So one of the things that I find really interesting is just viewing of, the body is our physical hardware, the brain is our physical hardware. The mind is more of the internal software bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
so if
I'll continue. I'll explain after.
Well, so in essence, when you're, trying to perceive reality in a non-physical form, right? We have, I wouldn't say the brain. It's like, no, the brain is pretty physical. Like, that's the physical name. Mm-hmm. The subjective bit is the mind, like what you're perceiving. The brain is just processing, as you said, kind of collecting and processing.
Yeah.
Whereas it's the mind that kind of comes to its conclusion and its reasoning.
Yeah. And then I was just saying that how, like, then it weighs that against your identity, your ego. And I find that that's actually very important, because you can have somebody who knows a lot, like has a lot of information, but when it comes down to it, like, especially if they get in an argument, like, what are they arguing? what they believe in, what their beliefs are, whatever their identity is, who they are as a person. That's what they start defending. You talk to a religious person, they're gonna defend their religion. You talk to some somebody who's very patriotic or nationalist, oh shit. They're gonna defend their country, right? You know, they have something they want to defend.
Yeah, they have an idea or some concept that they believe in because they have experienced it in life.
Yeah.
You know, if someone's patriotic, has experienced, let's say, the kindness or the aspect of their life that they feel, you know, grateful for.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. And so when someone hasn't experienced that, if I recall, there was the question about, you know, or not a question, but it was a statement about, it was when you and Tori were talking about broccoli, where someone says, you know, they ate broccoli, they didn't like it, and someone who says they haven't eaten broccoli and they didn't like it, and, you know, of course he was making a joke about gay men, but however, when you haven't experienced something in the way, let's say, it was intended, and you go, I got the experience, I didn't like it, well, you got a faulty experience from what was expected. I'll give you a more personal example. I don't like psychiatrists. I think therapists are great. I hate psychiatrists. I hate psychiatrists because my personal experience with them was fucking miserable. Now, of course, a good psychiatrist who actually does a better and more proper job, I think that I wouldn't have any issue with. Because there are people who've had horrible experiences with therapists. So...
yeah, that's true.
You know, we have these ideas and these experiences, but, you know, an idea exists in the vacuum of your mind, of the concept. But once you're actually experiencing it, there's all sorts of potential flaws and errors from, well, people, from life, from existence.
Yeah.
And that significantly alters your perception thereon, you know. If someone makes really shitty food, you might not like that type of food anymore. But if someone makes a delicious version of it, you might sit there and go, oh, I actually really like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that kind of becomes, you know, the challenge.
Yeah, and I think that goes to, like, that part of your character as well. Are you more open to trying an experience again, you know, even though you experienced it poorly? And that goes to everything, right? Like, even, like, you know how, that's what happens with racism, right? Like, either they're told a certain thing or they experience a certain thing, and they're like, oh, well, now I have that, you know, frame in mind now, like, that race is bad because I had this experience with them, or I was told that they were really bad, so I have this frame in mind. And just being able to be more open to, like, asking those questions, or being like, well, maybe if I tried again talking to those people, or maybe if I just tried, you know, going, like in my case, I used to hate Farmer Boys because I had a terrible, you know, I got food poisoning the first time I went over there, and so that was my experience of it. Like, Farmer Boys is bad because I had food poisoning. But I ended up going, you know, later on in my life, and I'm just like, yeah, it's actually pretty good over here. Like, it's pretty delicious.
Their pastrami sandwich is good. They make a good pastrami.
I like their sourdough avocado chicken sandwich. Oh my god.
That one is good also.
Today's episode is sponsored by Farmer Boys. All right. But, like, you get what I mean, though, right? Like, and I that's a part of the Hexico personality thing. I think you've heard me talk about it before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
openness.
Yeah, that's the O on the Hexico, is openness, is just being. Are you more willing to try things, even if you've had a bad experience with them? And are you more open to understand people? You know, are you more open to understand anything in a sense? And I think that kind of has to go with just challenging your mind at all times. You know, not staying that, you know, rigid to any idea in a sense. Not destroy. Oh yeah, I know, that was frame rate just dropped. Not in a sense, like destroying, like never knowing who you are, because, you know, you have that identity no matter what. But being able to challenge your identity without, I guess, in a sense, stepping out of your circle, but knowing that you can always come back to that circle. But just having that, you know, that being bold enough to step out of that circle just for a little bit, because then you don't know, you might come back with some new information that, you know, might make your little circle a little bit more interesting for others too.
Yeah.
Minnie's over there. She loves photos.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice that she likes photos. I don't know if I was supposed to continue doing the.
I don't think she likes all photos. I could show her some photos she won't appreciate.
Yep. I'm sure Mickey wouldn't appreciate that. Maybe he would, actually. I don't know. Try.
That freak? Yeah, it would. What am I, a bowling ball? He only has 3 fingers.
Do I believe... Are you asking both of us, or just him? If we believe in an afterlife, and what do you think it's like? I don't believe in an afterlife.
I don't believe in one. In fact, I do believe that life continues. What I find really funny is, does it continue backwards or forwards? Do you live, you know, if you live another life, but in the past, you know, so for example, let's say you die. Let's say you wake up, you know, learning that you're a new person. You don't remember the fact you were named, you know, Josh, and you lived in, you know, the 2000 millennia, but you were born in 1600 AD, and you live in some village somewhere. Like, your soul can go through that. Like, I think you could bounce around. You know, what's really forwards or backwards? I think that there is afterlives, but is there like one location, one place? I don't know. If I had the choice, I would probably relive my life as often as possible if I could, because I fairly enjoy this one, to be honest.
Oh, it's your only one. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, as for all I know, it's my only one.
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't. I believe that before that belief has existed long before me or the egg. Like, I am aware of the egg, and I am aware of that video on it. But I thought that way even when I was like 5 years old. I couldn't express it well. I've always had that challenge when I was young, is I had a thought, and in trying to express it, people, with my lisp and my speech impediment, it was hard for people to understand what I was saying. It didn't help my sister didn't understand, and she was my translator, so I kind of gave up in trying to express those ideas.
Oh shit!
Whoa!
I gotta
that
dodge
was
those.
abroad.
What was I gonna say? I don't necessarily believe in the after. Oh!
I think you just dodge the cannons.
Oh, I gotta just jump. Okay. I don't believe in an afterlife only because I kind of think, once we die, I mean, and at the end of the day, we're just kind of energy, and we just kind of return back to the earth. I think we've kind of gained too much of an arrogant idea that we're this special thing that deserves to keep going after we die. And I just honestly believe that we just kind of fade away, you know. And not to be like negative or anything. It's just that's just what it is, and that's why.
I can totally understand that too. Like, FYI, I'm not saying, you know, what I'm saying is true. I outright don't know. I do also fully see, and I can fully understand that belief, because we are just these electrons in our brain, you know, processing information. And the second that's damaged or just outright dead, that's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
That mind is gone. Just, like, outright.
I don't know, and that's why I say that, because it's just and at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with it. The only reason we see it as a bad thing is because we are so attached.
We like
to
being here.
Yeah, we're attached to our presence.
Existing.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of, you know, the universe kind of repeats and there's an infinite amount. That's kind of fun. Again, that's kind of one of the ways to allow that possibility of once again coming back. You know, and it's hard to say that, well, it's like, well, that's impossible. And it's like, well, I mean, we're here. We're already here.
Yeah.
So it's not the most unrealistic thing that what has happened already won't happen again. History has at least shown us on the small scale that happens all the fucking time.
There they are.
Yeah.
And again, when you're dead, when you're not existing, time doesn't exist. So, you know, do you remember all of the time before you existed? No.
Ladies? Yeah. That's very true.
However, like, you know, again, it's ultimately a who really knows. You know,
Yeah.
I become reluctant to listen to anyone who starts telling me about what they know.
Well,
no. Like, I'll tell you what I believe.
Yeah.
But I will
you
also
don't
leave
know.
that at the door as well, very clearly. This is what I believe. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm not going to tell you what to know or what not to know.
Yeah.
These are the multiple ways I can think about it. I find it interesting, but I almost immediately tune out of people who tell me what they know.
Yeah.
It's like that's an ego where it's like, you don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like that's going too far, and I
Yeah.
think that's the importance of having the ability, like I said, to step out of your circle, and understanding other perspectives. Because when you get so you're like, oh, I know what it is, like, you're never gonna step out of that circle.
Well, here's the thing too. You might know it for you.
Yeah.
I'll give people that. Like, you know, I've had experiences where I kind of do sit there and go, I have felt this. I have experienced this so deeply. This is what I know to be true for me. And I immediately, that's where I disconnect from everyone else, where I'm like, this might be the situation for me.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else. I'm not going to talk. I don't have the right or the space to talk for anyone else. But in the same regards, don't talk for me either. It's like, here's my bearing of the situation. I have no problem listening to your bearing, but your bearing is yours and yours alone. Don't start trying to include me. I'm good.
Yeah. No, and it's kind of like what I was talking to my mom the other day. I love my mom. She's trying her best to understand this world, and I try to talk to her about these kind of things, and it can be a little hard sometimes because she's kind of one of those people where it's hard for her to step out of that circle. Because and I don't blame her, like the things she's gone through and stuff like that. That's another thing too, is like, depending on what your experience is, it makes you more afraid to step out of that circle, and I don't blame people for that.
It wholly depends on that aspect of, like, what have you dealt with? Like, it's easy when, you know, at least I know for me, I've had some bad experiences, I've had some shit ones, but who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
So I've at least also had, you know, great and kind experiences. I mean, right off the bat, my dad would sit there and just be like, yeah, we're not going to school today. Today's Disneyland. Like, not a lot of kids got that.
Yeah.
They might get it for their birthday, but not just randomly.
What's this? Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. I like that song, The Encounter.
I loved when we finally got the glide ability. It was so nice.
Oh yeah. I'm just gonna keep spamming this. Because they don't know how to enjoy their real life, so they want a really good afterlife. Because they're thinking, and this is just what
there's an aspect of fear as well. I can definitely see, like, one, they don't have a good life, so they're hoping the next is better. I also think that's another big aspect of, you know, that does look like the same wooden sword from Kingdom Hearts. I was thinking about that too. I do, like, the eternal afterlife. It's like, what, really eternal forever and ever? Do you understand that concept? Do you know what you're saying? Time is non-existent when, like, what? No. Okay, I can't say no, but it's like, I think an aspect too is, one of the beliefs is the hopes that they can still somehow be a part of some form of existence. Kind of, again, back to what we call, like, they're so attached to the souls that they've met, the people that they love, that, you know, they're not gone forever. They're only gone for a little bit.
Yeah, that's my mom says that too, because I told her I don't believe in an afterlife, and she's like, if you don't believe, then you're not gonna be there. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I'm just trying to enjoy my life with you guys right now. Like, why
can't we enjoy right now? Why is it like,
why are we thinking about that already? You know, like,
it's like, we're here now. Like, is this time not enough?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I can also really understand that aspect. It's like, well, I want to be with you forever, and it's like, well,
it's not gonna happen.
Well, not just it's not gonna happen. It's like, well, you made me. Like, in some ways, genetically, you are with me forever.
That's true. That is very true.
Like, I know that might be somewhat of a cop out, but it's like,
no. again, it goes back to just we gotta stop
attachment.
It's not just attachment, but we have to just break out of that mindset. Like we're so stuck to just, you know, seeing things the way that we're all so used to seeing it all the time. It's kind of like that Gordian knot like idea. Like people want to untie this thing. Like, oh, well, how do I understand? You know, how do I perceive life? Oh, there has to be an afterlife because it's just the way I've experienced life my whole life. Like there just has to be more consciousness at the end of it. But it's like no, it doesn't have to be like that.
It doesn't
you
have
don't,
to be.
You know, it could be
we
totally
don't-
different. We could all
we
be
don't
a
know.
singularity after you die. Who knows? You know, like.
Well, that's what I find really interesting. Is I do think that there's some aspect of like a singularity, like a coming together, and you recognize that, oh, I'm just this little dot that makes up this infinite circle. I'm just this little bit, and to be a part of that singularity, to be a part of that afterlife, to be a part of that like great big thing, you have to shed your ego. You have to shed yourself.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, when it comes to a lot of things, I mean, it's just like even like being understanding of people, you have to shed that part of yourself that is so attached to like whatever it is you're used to. Like you can't in a sense understand people without being able, like I said again, at the end of the day, stepping out of your circle, being like, I need to step away from that part of me that is stopping me from understanding a lot of things. In a sense, like even like basic thing like, hey, I want to go learn math, but I'm really afraid of math, and that's a part of my identity. I'm just not a math person. I can't do math. That's just me. No, you can do math. You just gotta stop being afraid of it. You gotta let go of that part of yourself that thinks that you're afraid of math, that you're really bad at math.
Well, with math, it's less fear, and it's more the difficulty of understanding, I would argue. Like,
but the thing
yeah,
is,
there might be people who are afraid of math, but it's more about the difficulty of learning something. Some people have a difficulty.
Yeah,
learning,
but what
and
I'm saying is though that people will learn stuff. You'll see them learn stuff. But then when they say, "Oh, you need to learn math," oh, but math, oh, I'm not a math person. They do that. You know, people do that. Like they'll just say math specifically. Oh, I can't do it. But you can go learn plenty of other things, even things that might even be related to math, and you just don't even put that together. Because like for me, I always used to be like that. Like, oh, I can't do math. Oh, math. Ooh. But like once I just kind of let go of that, I was like, you know what? I just want to learn. Let me just make the time to learn. And I realized, oh wait, this is not that bad. I just need to be patient. Like I can't be hard on myself about it. Like it's just that kind of like that's what I'm saying, and I feel like you can apply that to everything. You know, I remember my my therapist like told me like, oh, you're so good at music, you just like have a talent for it, and I'm like, I just put in time. That's all I did. Like, no, like okay, some people out there might have, you know, tone deaf a little bit or anything, but I feel like even then you could put in a little time, and you know, I mean, look at Beethoven, right? Who was the one that was it Beethoven or Mozart? Beethoven, who was deaf. Like
yeah, Beethoven was deaf.
Like at the end of the day, I feel like you can train your brain. Like your brain is malleable. Like it's not stuck. Everyone thinks like they're stuck in this one way.
He had a natural weird inclination with the vibration. Like he was deaf, but he could still feel the vibration from the music. Deaf people can still do that. Like deaf. But how do you think the world will end, or the world or humanity will end? Outside of a mass extinction event, it has to be out of human stupidity.
Yeah, I'm honestly that's the great filter.
Like, well, yeah, like we're already doing some significant damage. Our skyline is polluted, so it's going to be difficult to get out into space.
Yeah.
You know what
Making
kind of
our own
kills
prison.
me? We have so much room already, and we do, but we don't know how to properly assign it or use it. We don't know how to properly do half the things we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Pretty much humanity started playing the game of life.
I'm gonna go use the restroom really quick. Continue talking to them. I'm just writing on this thing. Be right back, guys.
Cool. I'm gonna shrink down the screen because his moving around sometimes does get me just a little bit lightheaded. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. I closed my eyes at some point and just kind of looked up. So, I find it to be a situation of when it comes to the planet won't end unless there is literally a mass extinction event, a giant meteor, which we would likely see coming at least. We would somewhat know. As for humanity, it kind of has to come from within, and I think it honestly will. We've seen the trends that we refuse to learn from our history, we refuse to learn from our stupidity, we refuse to learn from our arrogance and our ego. Every time, we don't want to actually be better. We just want to say that we are without understanding the sacrifices it will take to get there. I mean, we've been around for 12,000 years, let's say intellectually, beginning as the people that we see ourselves as.
Can I say something really quick?
Oh, sure.
I just want to, before you move on to other things, I honestly want to say it kind of goes back to the whole, like, you said it too, arrogance. We don't want to let go. We don't want to let go. We don't want to let go of comfortabilities. We don't want to let go of, that's really what it is, the comfortability, why some companies don't want to stop doing the things they do, because it's just like, well, it's been, giving me money, and it's been giving me my family, feeding my family, things like that. Like, why do I need to stop? You know what I mean? Like, they don't have that, and maybe they do, and they just don't care because it's like, well, everything's good right now. I don't really care about the future, And I think that's been going on for so long. It's just, you have a small group of people who can separate themselves from that, but the majority of people can't. And it just continues. It just continues. But continue, Richard. I just wanted to make that comment. What's up, Darth? Oh, wait. Is the day changing? Or am I just seeing things? It looks like it's like midday now. Oh, I think it's the filter on my screen. Never mind. But
yeah,
continue.
No, it looks pretty similar.
Yeah, I just realized my filter's probably going on. Hey!
Yeah, Michael's a real cutie.
Stop it. Oh, really quick before I forget, and don't worry, Richard. I have a mental bookmark of what you were saying. Mike wants to know if any of you guys can record some fighting, like yelling stuff, like, "Hey, get him!" Do stuff. I don't know, like anything that like sounds like somebody would say in a crowd, I guess. And he wants you to send it to him so he can make a background noise for my Fighting February month, so we can have that in the background. So we're gonna have like a crowd cheering and stuff like that, and then have people going, "Yeah, get him! Wow!" And then, like, the fight bells and stuff like that. And that'll be in the intro screen for Fighting February with the boxing ring and everything. So, you guys can do that for me.
Have you been to the seashore?
Well, that was kind of my bit. It's just like, honestly, unless it's a mass extinction event, it's going to be humans just not getting on top of their bullshit. Really, that's what that boils down to. Is we would rather happily accept a slow demise instead of making important and legitimate sacrifices, and the people who need to make those the most aren't going to, because why would they? You're asking them to give up insane amounts of power and wealth, and you're also asking for people to not abuse any system. It's just not really fathomable. As for is suffering necessary, it's inevitable. Like,
I would argue suffering is, in a sense, in the mind. It's not.
Well, no. I know where you're going, but like, when I think of suffering, I think of the aspects you can't control. You have a serious birth defect. You have something that can't be fixed.
I disagree with that.
Life is challenging. Like, I don't think it's necessary. I think that there will always be some level of, like, for example, let's say you love someone. Let's say you love someone, but they do not love you back.
Mm-hmm.
do you suffer? You suffer in a way. You're kind of like, well, shit, that hurts.
Yeah. But again, that's up to you. Like, okay, so well, you just made an example right now. You said, oh, like somebody's born with a defect or whatever. But say they never knew, that was a problem. That was just their life.
I'm talking about the clear and obvious aspects, not like the minor ones. I'm talking about, like it hurts to breathe, right? Because you have a pressed lung, right? Something that makes it difficult and requires.
But again, what
and...
if that's just been their whole life and that's their perspective? And yes, it may be painful, but maybe it gets to the point where that's just they're used to that. And at the end of the day,
no, dude, I understand that. Like, I have that.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not necessarily suffering. It just, I mean, it kind of, in a way, I guess you could say, yeah, it sucks. But that's just your life. Like, you can choose to suffer it, yes. Or you can just be like, well, I gotta roll with it. That's my life. Or you can go kill yourself. But I wouldn't recommend doing that.
You don't beat yourself up about it. You don't torture. You accept it, right? But there is, at some point in the early stages, suffering. You can either choose to perpetuate the suffering, which I don't recommend, or you can sit there and go, okay, what can I do about this? How can I fix this? If it's not fixable, how can I, reduce it? How can I maintain it?
Yeah, no, and I get that, but that's what I'm saying. When is it? What makes the difference between suffering and just you're feeling pain or you're feeling trouble? Because, like, sometimes I'm stressed out, but if I continue to, like, overthink it and think about it in a negative way, then it becomes suffering because I'm just suffering the idea. I'm suffering the pain. If I hurt myself and I just keep complaining about, oh my god, my leg is killing me, it's hurting, then I'm suffering the pain. Before it was just painful, but it wasn't like, I don't want to let it get to me. But once it starts getting into your head and you just start, it goes from a physical thing into a mental thing, that's when I think it becomes suffering. And that's why I say it's a mental thing, because you're transferring from one aspect, which is your physical body, into a mental aspect. And once it becomes a mental aspect, that's when you start suffering. That's when you're just like, oh, everything's terrible, life sucks.
Yeah. So I would say the mental part, if you've been properly taught or trained, or you simply understand to not do that, you can avoid the mental bit. It's really hard to avoid the physical suffering, right? Like, let's say with COVID, a lot of people, I lost my job. I am somewhat physically suffering when it comes to my job. I do like what Kim said. She went, I think he's like something like, if you want to work at a goal, like losing weight, you have to exercise. You're going to have some pain, some physical suffering, but as time goes on, it gets easier.
I just throwing the word suffering on it just because you're feeling pain, I just don't think that's right. Like,
well, okay, what is suffering then? Also, I can't hear you, Denise.
Oh, can you hear me now?
What you want?
Oh, now. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That was weird. You were like really turned down.
It's okay.
Okay, we hear you. Yeah, no. That was on my end. That was on my end.
Beauty is pain, so chill.
Oh yeah.
I get what you're. I get what
girls
you're.
definitely suffer when it comes to makeup. My mom is a makeup like master, and I just watch. Well, I would sit there and watch her like just dabbing her eye with her thing. She's like, it's fine. I'm like, no.
Oh my god, I keep clicking out of the damn game. What I was gonna say, I get what you're saying with the whole suffering thing. Like, what do you call it then? I don't know. Honestly, I don't. But I just feel like it's just not the right word. I feel like should be a different word for it.
Well, I guess that's the bit too, is we put a lot of like emphasis on suffering or
because
some aspect
it's just
of
the negative
discomfort.
connotation behind it.
Instead of suffering, let's use the word discomfort, right?
Yeah.
Because
okay.
More often than not, there are things that happen that make life, well, uncomfortable. A discomfort, something that you are dealing with, and it's just kind of a part of life. I don't know what, let's say, true and absolute suffering is. because when COVID happened, guess what? The government got off its ass for a little bit, right? So I didn't suffer. I didn't lose my apartment. I'm not homeless. I didn't have to move back in with my parents. So to some degree, I'm not deeply suffering. I'm actually in a fairly comfortable position. It's not super comfortable. I still need to find a job. I'm trying to manage means of doing so. However, it's definitely not the most comfortable ride. Someone hit a question. Let's see. Suffering is existential nihilism. You actually need to theory that humans crave to suffer because that's what society is conditioned to appreciate. Well, yes, but also society. If you look back in the 18 and 1900s of society, that life was miserable for the vast majority of people. Like, they suffered. They suffered in comparison to what we have now with some real suffering. There was some hellish realities that people experienced in the 18 and 1900s if they lived in a major city. Let's see. What is a harsh truth that everyone must learn as soon as possible? Oh, but she's talking. I didn't hear her. Oh,
I feel like there's a couple I can think of, but I don't know if some of them are. It's like a what do they call them? And I wouldn't say it's a maxim, but what is another word for maxim? But it's not like, because maxim is for like scientific laws, right? This would be a maxim. I'm thinking of an aphorism. That's the right word. I don't know if the right word for those kind of things, but you know what they say, like, God, why am I forgetting the word? Like, knowledge is power, you know those, like, those phrases that you hear. You guys there still? Sorry,
I'm reading chat.
Oh, okay.
There's a discussion over, suffering is a subjective word. Any word regarding a feeling or an experience is inherently subjective.
Oh
like,
my god,
you can't
clicking
remove...
on things.
Oh yeah, you clicked off. You can't really avoid the subjective fact that most words are subjective, especially when talking about one's.
Especially when we're talking about like suffering and stuff. Like,
yeah,
that's why I say it's a whole mental thing, only because,
what is really suffering in that regard.
Yeah, it's pretty much that person is feeling like, this sucks. This really sucks. I don't want to go through this. I'm suffering now. And that, like I said, at the end of the day, is up to the person's perspective. Someone, like I said, someone could lose their house and lose everything, and they could be like, you know what? This is fine. I'm just gonna have to pick myself up off my feet again. Whoever can do that, I'm just saying, whoever can do that, like, kudos to you. But most likely, you're gonna suffer from that, right? Like, that's like some Herculean mindset right there.
I'm just thinking about the fucking Robin Hood in tights when they're like wheeling his castle away. It's like, this is fine.
Yeah, but look, no, but it's possible though, right? At the end of the day, you can do that. You can just be like, you know what? This is just a challenge. I gotta move past this.
Let's see.
It's not gonna always happen.
People consciously don't like each other, and they're basically on profiting off their own social groups to thrive.
I don't think that's always true.
I don't really agree. I don't really agree with that. Like, there are people that I pretty much love, and like on their social groups to thrive. It's like, no, not really. I don't have any subconscious hates to almost any of the people I interact with.
Yeah,
there are things I do hope that in life that they improve on, that they want to improve on.
And we get frustrated with certain things, but it doesn't mean
but that's
don't
really
like
not common. At least not for me. Like, if that's a common experience, that might be a harsh truth for you, but that also just means you don't really like your friend group. Like, you need to try to locate a better friend group, I would argue.
I wanna be a devil's advocate only because I've felt that before. I felt like, I really don't like my friends and stuff like that. But I realized I was just, oh Jesus Christ, that I was just being too harsh on people in general. I was putting this expectations on everybody, and I realized that was something I needed to let go of myself. you know, I needed to stop, and it goes back to what we were saying, you know, stepping out of that circle. I just didn't want to step out of my own circle, that, like, I had these beliefs that people should be a certain way. And it was just kind of learning that, like, and I guess that would be the harsh truth that people need to learn immediately, is that...
Yeah, I would say the harsh truth is not that, you know, people, subconsciously don't like each other. It's like, if I don't like someone, I make it very clear because I don't interact with them anymore. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't respond to them. I don't have any interest in them. I'm like, I don't like you. If you want to know why, I'll tell you, but, like, no one generally wants to hear why someone else doesn't like them, because why would you change them?
I did that a lot, though.
I highly disagree because of the idea of implicit biases being a very important topic in society.
Sorry, it's, like, hard for me to reach that while doing this.
Oh, no, that's why I'm reading it.
Ooh, I went too high.
Well, what specific implicit biases? That's to assume that someone has an implicit bias against someone else regarding what the race, their culture, their skin, their heritage, their beliefs, their creed. Like, I'm like, what specific biases? I mean, granted, there are definitely people with them. I don't think I can only speak for myself, but. Again, that really feels like it's who you choose to spend your time with, who you choose to align your time with and your ideals with. That feels so again, kind of not objective, but subjective of who you're talking about and the experiences. That seems very personal. That doesn't feel like a harsh truth across the board.
Yeah. I want to answer.
I don't think humanity is inherently evil. I think humanity is inherently,
I don't believe in evil, so I don't believe in good or evil. It's just, at the end of the day,
I think that we're inherently kind of silly. I think we're a silly creature. But I don't think...
I mean, it's just things that we attach... Again, it goes back to the whole attaching words to things. It's just... You have, again, it goes back to where we're talking about intelligence, right? You gather all this information, it goes into your head, and then your brain goes, well, that's bad, and that's good. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit my microphone, but yeah, that's bad, that's good. And then other people tell you, hey, I gathered this information, I think this is evil, because this is a terrible thing, and stuff like that. And of course, you know, like, I still agree, some things are really, really bad, like, don't be killing people, like, I don't agree with that. It's bad.
Okay, well, I'm actually a little curious. You know? What do you believe an implicit bias is? Is an implicit bias, because those guys, everyone has an implicit bias. This is a proven fact. You can't make the argument that you don't have them.
I watched a video where they were talking about that.
Could I disprove that I don't have them, right? Like, what is an implicit bias? You have experiences. Those experiences make you believe something, and you either challenge them or you don't. If you challenge them and you go, oh, I guess that's really just me being silly, is trusting everyone an inherently good idea, or should you have some reserved space of, like, I don't know you, therefore I'm not going to make any opinion on how you look or who you are, or, you know, whether you introduce yourself, whether I know your name, but, like, you can't just blindly trust everyone. So if you go, I don't trust this person, are you going to go, is it because, you know, you have a bias of the way they look or how they sound or some aspect of them? It's like, well, no, I just don't trust everyone I just randomly meet. That seems like a poor idea. Like, that seems like a really bad idea. If you don't know someone, you shouldn't just blindly trust them. So
I guess you can say, where does that idea come from? And that would be your
that
bias,
idea comes from just, again, reading human history and knowing better.
But that's your bias, Richard. That's your bias. You have a bias against human beings now.
Oh, I'm biased against human history. I'm biased against being able to literally pick up a book and read how many people
I get
have
what you're saying, though.
over by others. And FYI, that doesn't mean I treat someone horribly because I don't have a good reason to trust them. I don't have a good reason to distrust them.
It's
understanding neutrally.
It's understanding that it's possible. People are capable of these things, and so are you.
Yeah,
I think that when it comes down to it,
I definitely have some biases, but I couldn't tell you what they are because I don't keep my biases in the far back of my mind. I mean, like I'm not like, oh, this isn't a bias. I'm aware I have. I'll give you I'm trying to think of an example, but it's like, what would be a bias? Right, you know, if you see, let's say you go to, you have to stop, you have to get gas. It's like 11 at night. You're driving home from like a Christmas Eve thing, or whatever might require you to be out at 11 in, you know, it's 11 p.m.
Oh God.
Oh, I love that costume. You're wearing that costume. Put it on. Put it on.
I did. I have to. It's my mission. I gotta go appease Peter Pan. And his sick fetishes.
Okay. Hey, don't judge me for my king.
Almost like a real lost boy. You think I could tell you
I'm more into balance. That's when there are bad days. There are always good days, but many people are putting more weight on positives.
I agree. I think you should.
An implicit bias isn't about trusting people, though. It's about your interactions with people and being subconsciously negative towards them because of your upbringing. Everyone is born with them. You're not born with them, you're raised with them.
You're raised with them, yeah.
You're raised with them. You're not born with anything. You're born as your experiences. So you're not born with biases. You're raised, and your experiences growing up give you biases. However, you're also always able to look at yourself and go, am I allowing this one event to make a decision from here on out how I treat, let's say, other people in that same regard? The issues that you need to work on trying to learn from them. Asking people that are foreigners the common phrase, can you speak some insult language? It's an important implicit bias that I deal with on a daily basis as an immigrant.
Wait, let me really fast.
Wait.
I have a YouTube chat as well, and you're probably not seeing that one.
Oh yeah.
Awesome shirt said, yeah, I didn't trust Michael the first time I met him. I was like, look at that guy. I bet his gray hair is fake. Wow. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I still loved it in high school when you had the black and white stripes, not by accident. I thought it was cool, and you were super embarrassed about it. I was like, it's awesome.
Because I got picked on a lot, so that was my bias of myself.
I thought it was cool.
I just assumed that, you know, people were just gonna make fun of me.
What? So, wait. Are you saying that they ask you, can you speak English or can you speak Spanish? Because, as an immigrant, like, is it biased to ask, hey, is there a similar language that we can communicate on? Is that bias? To sit there and go, I'm trying to communicate with you. I speak this language. Do you speak this language? Because if you don't, I can't communicate with you. Is that bias? Is trying to get into a parallel communication with someone biased? Is trying to get on the same page with someone biased?
Sorry, I was trying to take a picture.
I don't deny that we have our experiences, and there are people, definitely there are people, myself included, I just don't exactly know which. I think the closest would be, I had a bad experience with a psychiatrist, so I inherently don't like psychiatrists. I don't think they're all bad and evil, but if I was given the option, therapist or psychiatrist, I would pick therapist more often than I would pick psychiatrist. Based on my experience, that at least knowing the health services I am provided, neither one is probably going to be the best. But generally speaking, if I can get a therapist, I would rather have someone listen to me than just try to medicate me.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, what is it? And the shark says, then I was like, oh shoot, his gray hair is real. I trust him with my life. Oh, nice. I'm glad you feel that way.
Michael, I trust you. Not with my life, but I trust you.
I don't try. I mean,
maybe, there are people I trust with my life, but
why not me?
I love you.
Why not?
because you'll be like, I'll see you in the afterlife, Richard. Bye.
But I don't believe in the afterlife. I told you I don't.
Oh, okay. So it's a bias when you automatically see someone of a different color or a place of origin, then instantly assume they speak a foreign language. Well, I mean, I would just say hello, and I would try to start with just hi. It's not until they go, like they just look at me and they shrug, like I have no idea, they don't know what I'm saying.
Have you ever looked into Carl Jung's like is it interacting with the dark side of yourself? It came up to mind when I just saw Peter Pan's shadow, like the shadow side. I think that's one of the biggest things that helped me with my life in general too, was that when I kind of came to terms with the fact that like I kind of suck, like at the time, like I was just like, God, I really suck like as a human being when it comes to this kind of situation, and I need to get better. And instead of like running away from the bad part of me, I kind of embraced it. I was just kind of like, you know what? That's who I am, but I can change it. Like, you know, let's change together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all have a subconscious. We all have a part. I'll catch myself saying things. I'll catch myself thinking something and kind of going, wait, why is that my response?
Yeah.
We all have that. I guess where I would call it an implicit bias is when you have the response and you don't catch yourself, and you're just kind of like, nope, this is totally okay.
Yeah.
This really fucked up thing that it just flew out of my mouth, that's fine. There's no problem.
It's having that self-awareness to understand that, like, hey, this is probably not good. I should, you know.
This probably isn't a positive or healthy trait to keep. You know?
Like, I remember I used to tell my therapist all the time, because, like, my dad would be like, hey, I lost, you know, a couple pounds. And in my head, I would be like, like, okay, you lost a couple pounds. I lost this many, you know, like this show-off attitude. Like, I wouldn't say it to him,
you would
of
have
course.
that response, damn.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say it. I would think it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would think it. But my response would be, like, to, like, not in a sense put him down, but, like I would be like, oh, that's just water weight. You gotta keep working hard. You know, like, almost like, just, like...
Like, why not just encourage him? It's
exactly,
like, hey, you lost some weight. Like, you know, yeah, sure, you might be totally right. It could just be water weight, but at the same time, it's like, you know, that's the bit that kills me, is when you have the opportunity to encourage something, and instead of them encouraging, for some reason, it's like they have to do a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Right?
And I hate it. I hate that about myself. I hate when I do that. Like, and that's what I kept bringing up to her. I was like, I don't like that I do that. And she's like, well, it's good that at least you're aware of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to, like, catch that.
Not do that.
Yeah. Because it's the same thing, like, sometimes I'll see people on Facebook, and they're just like, you know, like, oh, I'm doing this. And I'm like, oh, look at you. Oh, it's just like, oh my God, Michael, shut up. Like, it's just, I hate it. Like, God.
There's definitely one thing when, you know, you can... It also depends who, like, you're talking to, right? If you know you can kind of make a joke and be playful. Whereas with you know, with others, especially with family, I find that, you know...
I'm sorry, Tori. Telling you, I know I'm a jackass and an asshole sometimes, and I'm just trying to get better. But continue, sorry. That and I interrupt people, I'm sorry, I do that a lot.
Oh no, we interrupt each other all the time. Hey, you're waking up at 9 out. Really? 9 out? Damn, dude.
Remember, my shadow's always getting away.
What happened?
Keep an eye out for it.
Your little thing popped up going, you're waking up in 9 hours.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Some sort of rotten scheme.
Oh yeah, it's already 6 o'clock, Jesus.
That old codfish would recognize me in a second, but not you. Why, you could go over there and see what he's plotting.
I don't think I have any footy pajamas with ears. No, wait, I do. I have any more. I have any more.
Another example, after World War II, there was a peace till 2020, and now people are complaining that it's unfair, but I say that's fair enough. I mean, there was a couple wars between those times, though.
Yeah, I'm a little confused in like, inherently what that's, like, referencing, but...
I get what he's trying to say, but yeah, there were wars and stuff. It wasn't peacetime, because of Vietnam, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, no, yeah, I thought he was just joking, because I was like... I literally thought he was joking, because I was like,
maybe he is. Maybe he is. I don't know. D1 he's always making jokes. So.
Well, okay. Like, there's no real peace. We can't have peace. America, Russia, and China will never be peaceful with each other because they're always trying to be like the most powerful.
I think one of the biggest issues is everyone's trying to find peace with the, you know, like how to make peace. With
We're
the world
trying
and
to
stuff.
find peace in an unpeaceful way.
Well, no, not that. I would say they're so focused on finding peace outside that they don't even bother understanding if they have peace inside themselves. Like people are tearing themselves up inside. But again, it goes back to the whole suffering thing. People are suffering like internally. Mentally.
I was looking at it on like the more social scale, not the individual scale.
No, I mean like personally, like people are trying to worry about what others are doing when they're not even themselves.
That's oh my god, like, you know, clean up your room, worry about your own like immediate life and circle. Like, you can care about loved ones, you can care about them, but like you can't like save.
Yeah, it's just my parents my parents go like crazy when they're watching the news and everything. And they're just like, can you believe this? Can you believe? I'm just like, yeah, it's like a lot of crappy stuff happening out there. But
it's like,
hey, right
you do know we grew up, and when we were all about 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, 9/11 happened, and we got to watch everyone go insane, and America start a fucking war. Like, we kind of we're in a time, at least for us, where we're like, yeah, no, chaos happens all the time. Y'all, I don't know what the fuck happened to parents in that time frame, but I know my parents, they were so checked out and just focused on their own life. They didn't give a fuck. Let's see, is poverty necessary or inevitable? So again, I do kind of hate that kind of question, because it's like, okay, let's say 1% of a country is impoverished, but it turns out that impoverished portion is because they have mental health disorders. Like, they have to be cared for. Like, I'm not talking about basic mental, I mean like serious, they cannot function on their own. Is that they don't have any money, they are impoverished, but they're being taken care of? Do you define impoverished being homeless, or just having no inherent income where they can't take care of themselves? What about elderly people? Right, like who go into, you know, who need social security, which I mean most of them benefit from it. So I guess that's such a vague one. But we actually have the GDP of some countries in the past 20 years have improved significantly to where they're making, you know, $1.70 a day. And I know that might not seem like a lot, especially not in California. If you live in California, that's nothing. But in other countries, that's enough to where people have slowly been able to afford something and to be able to afford food. But it's, you know, totally different depending on the country you're talking about, and depending on if they're first world or third world. Sometimes at this rate, I have no idea what the.
You know, I find it funny that the difference in tone throughout the whole week, like each day, like has had like a. I mean, of course, you know, like the different people I've had on the stream, I just find it very interesting, because yesterday it was like completely like we had like one or two like conversations about like society and stuff like that, but more or less it was just joking.
Well, we had the fun conversations early. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That is true. You asked the fun conversations really early on. Like, would you be okay if you were young again, but you had the knowledge of an adult? And I'm like, yeah, let's begin that conversation.
You know what? This is a good experience, because now I know I need to start writing down more questions that are silly like that too. Because again, it was just going to like, oh, I want to learn more stuff, so let me write about, you know, like, it's just like, come on, Michael, like, make it fun too. Well, so.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't mind. I like existential questions, so it actually kind of works.
No, I enjoy it too,
it
but...
makes me laugh. It's like, we had all the fun stories about my dad trying to drown me when I was a baby, because he went, babies can float into a lake. Yeah. Me almost flinging out of a teacup when I was like 6 and calling my dad, you know, a motherfucking bastard for not stopping. You know, we missed everyone missed all the funny stuff. They all popped in when we're having existential arguments over here.
No, but yeah, I guess I just thought about that because I realized when looking at my book, the only real joke part that I would ask is just like the whole, or not ask, but like mention would be the sponsorship thing. I always thought of like, each day I've been writing like what would be a funny thing to sponsor the episode, you know, with. But I never thought about asking like say with like Kat, like I could have done like some funny questions and stuff like that we could have had fun with. Instead, I was just like, oh yeah, what do you think about, you know, changing as a person?
What's your passion in life?
Yeah, what's your passion in life?
Like you're asking the deepest, most personal question.
Yeah,
like,
I realize that now.
So at what age did you first have your... I'm gonna stop the joke.
No, and I realize that now. Like, I just need to, you know...
Well, I mean, no, there always... I think you kind of need to intersperse it with... Just to be honest, like, there's nothing wrong with asking, like, a deep question. I do like them. But also, you know, sometimes intersperse it with funny stories. We were getting so existential. We're arguing about implicit biases, poverty. Like, again, we spent all of the funny, hilarious stuff really early on.
Yeah.
We're asking about, what the hell is sarsaparilla?
Sarsaparilla?
Why did my sister at age 6 think she was a mermaid because her name was Ariel and she tried to breathe underwater? That was definitely some brain cells lost.
What is Awesome Shark says, here's an existential question. Is water wet? Oh my god, I'll start with that.
It's not existential, that's just a pothead question.
Okay, I would like to argue from a, like, if you want to break it down to, like, electrons, because, okay, you have, what is it?
Oh my god, holy shit, you got it started.
Look, you have cohesion and adhesion, right? So cohesion is the ability for water molecules to join each other. Adhesion is what causes something to be wet. It's the water attaching to the object. Just like adhesive, it's sticky, but instead water's not sticky because it has the hydrogen bonds and they break really easily, so you can knock water off pretty easily off of something. But it still has that adhesion, so it sticks to something. So the term wet just means when water is adhesive onto an object. So water can't be adhesive to itself. It's just cohesive. So no, water isn't wet because it cannot wet itself. If you get what I mean.
Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna adhere my hand to my penis.
God damn it.
Honestly, I was asking this question because I thought it would be funny to talk about this kind of shit over Disneyland Adventures. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's good. I know. I love these questions. I love
I'm really curious
chat.
now. If you can't rent a I was about to call it a stroller. Holy shit. If you can't rent, well, I know you can rent strollers, but a wheelchair, because that's what I did like 3 years ago.
No, they let me. They what was it? 7 years ago when we went to Disneyland, I had a broken leg, and they told me I could rent a wheelchair, but I had to pay for it, and I was like, fuck that.
Oh yeah, no, I paid for it, but it was totally worth it. So what? You have an app, and you go to where the exit of the ride is, and you get put on like a virtual list, and then you go sit down in some shaded area. And like that's what we did, and it was awesome. I loved it. Granted, I had a lovely Canadian man pushing around. No, he really, no, his name was, he was Billy, actually.
I just, the chat is just, you said it, walking around, hey, Cinderella, is water wet? God damn it. Continue, though, sorry, I said it.
Oh, no. I was talking about, like, the most recent time I went, which was, again, like, 3 years ago.
I'm still waiting for the DLC for this game, man. I want Star Wars Land, damn it. I want Avengers to show up for some reason.
Man, I don't like the new Star Wars Adventure. The old Star Wars Tours was so much better. I love Star Wars Tours.
I don't know about that.
I love Star Wars Tours. I loved it.
Some rose-tinted
I also fell
right
off of that seat as well. Like, I don't know why, but I could not remain seated.
Don't you have a seat belt?
Yeah, I was so little, I would slip out of it.
Interesting. Oh, hey, look at that. Progression.
So, when I was little, so my sister loved the Indiana Jones ride, and I would wear cowboy boots so that I would be just barely, I would spike my hair, I had a flat top, so I would be just tall enough to ride.
Oh, I went the long way, fuck. I'm a magical little pirate boy!
I just liked it. I liked it. It was something different. It was something fun. I liked the show intro. Finally, it was a line that was inside and air conditioned as well.
Oh, that's more like it. Welcome to me.
Do I think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created? Yes.
I have a job for you.
No, you see, okay.
Now listen up.
God is a creator, right? He created everything. If you believe in that. And I somewhat kind of believe in that. I feel like if God is real, entity, whatever, he created the laws and, how everything works and all that. And was just like, all right, my work is done. Y'all manage your shit. And then we managed our shit and life became life and all that. And so when people are just like, why isn't God helping me and stuff like that? Because he created everything. He ain't gonna manage your shit. That's your job. That's the way I see it, though. So I wouldn't say he's afraid. He's more just like, my job done.
I always ignore that question from him. He's been asking that question since fucking high school.
Oh, I know. I just still wanted to humor him and actually give a real answer. I gotta find clocks. The whole thing with Peter Pan I find funny is that, like, it's all about not wanting to grow up, right? That's obvious. Peter Pan doesn't want to get older, and Hook is afraid of death, right? The tick-tock of death.
Yeah.
The tick-tock of the alligator. It's time, like, approaching
they're both literally kind of like boys afraid of, one is, a boy is afraid of growing up, and a man is afraid of, death.
Yeah,
but,
afraid of death.
It's kind of a actually really nifty analogy.
Mm-hmm.
What a delightful morning it is for
It's like, and I went through that when I was a kid. I didn't want to grow up. I would say it was a mixture of both. I didn't want to grow up because I knew you'd die eventually, and I was severely afraid of that. But I think it wasn't until like maybe high school that I finally kind of got over that idea. I was like, well, we're gonna continue. I mean, it's gonna drag me kicking and screaming regardless. Huh?
With all of my health conditions, I had no problem with the concept of death. I kind of accepted the reality of it. My problem was one simple thing. If I grew up, I would no longer be able to be carried, and I hated walking. I was like, every day I get slightly bigger, and I don't like it. Because I just don't get carried anymore, and I fucking hate walking.
See, like, am I afraid of death? I wouldn't say fear is the right answer. It's more of just like, I don't want it. I want to continue. I have things I want to do.
Here's the one thing for me. I just don't want it to be my fault. Like, let's say something goes wrong with my heart and I just kind of drop. I feel like as my brain is shutting down, I feel like there would be some sense of awareness that I'm dying, and I would be sad, and I would go through the scene I went through before, because I've seen it a couple times. It's kind of old hat to me. Every time I see it now, I'm like, well, fuck, I'm a little bit closer. God damn it. But I just don't want it to be my fault. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah. I just don't want to suffer the plot of it.
Driving somewhere and fucking, I make some poor decision, I, fucking veer off the road. I just don't want, one, I don't want it to be my fault. And two, I don't want anyone else to be, like, hurt by it, like, physically, right? Emotionally, my family's gonna be sad, all that shit. But, like, as long as it's not me having done something fucking stupid, I'll be happy. Because that's my one fear, is, like, I'm like, sure, let's have this drink, and there's some, like, weird adverse reaction. I'm like, well, fuck, my heart's stopping. I'm an idiot.
Oh, God, yeah. Or, like, choking on food or something.
Yeah.
Ugh. Or choking yourself in the I mean,
What? No, I actually have a pretty good gag reflex, and I can slightly unhinge my jaw. I can actually pop it, and you can hear it.
Oh, my jaw pops too.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, kind of like a snake, just, swallowing as much as it can.
I don't know if you can hear it, but... Like a snake.
But,
You are to be rewarded.
Yeah, when it comes to death, it's really not a fear. If it happens, it happens. I have my ideas, and I'll see if I'm right or wrong. Because if nothing happens, well, I don't get to know. Not a problem. I just don't want it to be my fault. That's all. Like, I cannot stress that enough.
What did you miss? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. If Darth Vader can sense that Luke is his son with the Force, why doesn't he sense that Leia is his daughter when he is torturing her? He never tortured her.
So the middle of your death speedrun.
He never tortured her. He tortured Han. He never tortured her.
Didn't he choke Leia like a little bit?
No.
Oh.
No. Never laid a hand on her. She was captured. She was a prisoner. He never tortured her.
Oh, I gotta go back.
He never laid a hand on her. He threatened to.
Should we go to Alice?
Well, you know what? Dad doesn't threaten to beat the shit out of his daughter. Wait, what?
Hey, he's taking me away. Hey.
No. Seriously. No. He never hurt her. He never hurt her.
You know
he
what?
tortured the shit out of Han, though.
Hey, you know what? Because it was
like
her
a real
boyfriend.
father, you know,
Yeah.
torturing your boyfriend.
Yeah. You know what, Minnesota? After all this existential talk, we need to go to Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, we do.
Bye, dear.
Hello there.
Because there's nothing like a drug-fueled trip to, you know, bring on the existential.
Yep. Did he choke the bitch? No, he got her quit. Yeah, I'm doing good so far on my no death speedrun, so let's hope I continue that for another.
I've had a few close calls, you know, just a few.
For another 80 years or 90.
Is there an Alice in Wonderland right? No, there's only the teacups, right?
No, right behind the teacups is the Alice in Wonderland, right?
I can't remember. I don't remember it.
Oh shoot! Look at this outfit I got. I'm pretty dapper. Pretty dapper.
Now I want to see. I really cannot remember it. YouTube, Alice in Wonderland. Right. At Disneyland.
Yeah. Sorry guys for all the existential topics. It's not like our channel's called anything. Planet Vegeta was destroyed 23 years ago. What? What does that mean? Oh shoot, I could hit the continue button. I'm so sorry guys. I'm a little sorry, the kid is a little slow. Not me. Dude, look at this guy's on cocaine. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I literally had to look it up. Okay, I remember it now. Oh my god.
I remember it now.
It's been so long. We whenever we would go, it wasn't open often. It really wasn't open, but yeah, no, I have a few vague memories of it. Cause it's just like a ride along. Like it's not really fast or fun, you know?
No, it's just like showing the story and everything.
Yeah.
Or well, not the story, but just showing the world. Oh, me and Kat were saying this should have been Alice in Wonderland. It is, because the Haunted Mansion has a similar level to this, and we were playing through it and we're just like, oh, they should have this for Alice in Wonderland.
Can't you fall any faster?
Sorry, physics. I mean, technically physics should be speeding me up, but it's not for some reason.
Michael,
the physics don't work here.
9 years ago. Nice.
Wait, what happened? Michael destroyed. God damn it.
Gonna grab some food. Let's come off the drugs when I get back.
No, Stu, once I reach terminal velocity, that's... Oh! Oh! Jesus Christ, I almost hit my head on that.
Oh no, I love the existential topics, but it is literally a rabbit hole where you keep going, you keep going. At some point, it's like, can we make a joke?
Oh my god, a rabbit hole? Really?
And they say,
was that intentional?
Yeah, actually, it was, yeah.
Okay, I was making sure. What's with all the T-posing in this game?
It's so much easier. It's just, again, just how do we make this as cheaply as possible? Just let the T-pose be a good pose.
Oh.
really like to know. He went.
They had the guy who did Winnie the Pooh's voice just do the voice for Cheshire Cat.
Hurry now, no time to wait.
It just sounded like Winnie the Pooh still.
A more nasally Winnie the Pooh, yeah.
Yeah. He went that way.
Hurry
Oh no, okay.
Did you ever play the Dark Alice in Wonderland game?
Yes, I actually plan to play that on this channel because I love those games. Was it American McGee's Alice, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Is American McGee the person? Like, is that just another? Like, how does that work?
You. It's you.
Yes, those are vowels.
Haven't you done well?
If I recall correctly, Alice in Wonderland is not owned by anyone anymore. I think it's been off of like.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, but was he is he the original author for Alice in Wonderland, or is that somebody else?
No,
Who's
no,
American
he wasn't.
McGee? Is it just the guy who made that style of Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, my hair is fucked up.
Who created Alice?
Very strange.
Ooh. What's up, Junior? How's it going?
It was Lewis Carroll. I was gonna say C.K. Lewis. I was like, nope, that's not correct.
Lewis Carroll.
Lewis
right.
Carroll.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, because Alice was the 13-year-old he wanted to badoink-a-doink. Well, he wanted to marry and then badoink-a-doink. Because, you know, that's not
how
creepy.
That's how it was back then, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's you know, there's no
Different
problem
time.
when a 27-year-old looks at a 13-year-old and goes, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna badoink-a-doink. God damn, man. Oh, shit. I feel so bad for, like, a 13-year-old girl who's
Right.
kind of like, ugh.
I mean, you gotta understand too. Like, okay, I know I shouldn't be sounding like I'm trying to defend this, but
Oh no, I know the time is different.
Yeah, it's not just the time is different, but people didn't live that long either, so they're probably just like, oh, I mean, I just wanted to get it, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to like understand, but at the same time, I don't excuse it. But I'm trying to understand. Again, it goes back to the whole thing. You just gotta learn how to like step out of that circle, as uncomfortable as it is sometimes. Just so that you can understand it. Again, whether regardless you agree with it or not. It's like with the whole Hitler thing. Like, no, I don't think the things that Hitler did were good, but I still want to understand, you know, why that all. Yeah, the thought process. Otherwise, we don't learn. I mean, that's the whole point of history, right? You look at like, okay, why did people do that? How can I avoid going?
What did the culture believe? What was this? Was this normal? Was this okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like this level. It's really interesting. Like the whole. I have to say, Frontier did a pretty good job with this game.
Now pull the Lewis Carroll. Angle the camera up when she's talking.
God damn.
You might see something under the petticoats.
Oh shit!
Oh, I thought they were ramps. I didn't know you had to jump over them.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Because you know they're kind of rounded.
Yeah, I thought it was a ramp too. Or should you get pretty fast? Oh. Thank you, Alice. I tried that time. You couldn't move the camera at all. They made sure. It's gonna be like Kingdom Hearts where they modeled the actual panties on Kairi.
Wait, they did?
Yeah! They got rid of it! But like, cause people kept doing it. And Disney was like, no.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, like she had a little bow on it and everything. It was like white with a bow.
Wow.
Bow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Disney would not let that fly. Square Enix was like, but Japanese culture, and Disney was like, no.
Oh, Neil, birthday, buddy. Oh, Marianne, birthday to me, to you.
She's already cute enough. We don't need to give the boys anything else to imagine.
Whoa, you guys can see into the real world. Look at, I can open the door.
Well, they release, Rescue Rangers. Fucking gadget.
Oh, that's not Rescue Rangers. Rescue Rangers.
Gadget.
Or I'm thinking of well, I thought the Rescue Rangers was like or am I thinking on a different one? Down Under? Something like that?
Yeah, Rescue was Down Under. You're thinking Rescue was Down Under.
Ah, okay.
Rescue Rangers were,
Statistically, 10 past 2 is the most delightful time.
Yeah, Chip and Dale gadget.
Calculation made more probable by the omission of
The other one, I think his name was Jack.
These guys are some cultured men.
Jack
Jam, if you don't mind.
You ever tried butter with mustard and jam?
Rude. How very, very rude indeed.
No.
Is it autumn already?
Why can't someone model? Oh, Jesus.
Why, you brought confetti to my unbirthday party.
Confetti? What silly nonsense. They're leaves from the tree.
They can be used as confetti.
Who's leaving? Oh, you! Get out! Go! Be
You gotta
gone.
see from their perspective.
It seems you two could learn a few things about manners. Couldn't they stay for tea?
Oh, don't let's be ridiculous.
Oh,
Of
don't.
course
The way they
can
talk
stay
too
for
is
a
funny.
dance. Why, what a splendid idea.
Oh no.
Ready? Do as we do, or there'll be no.
The actor who did the black and white, 1920 or 1930 Alice in Wonderland version, maybe it was the 40s, but pretty much the actor who did the Mad Hatter, like, his people trying to, like, replicate him, or why we have so many of those kind of weird, like, goofy characters with that voice. That kind of silly Mad Hatter voice is because of that one actor. I cannot remember his name.
That guy came out on the Twilight Zone too, huh?
I think so. I believe
Because
so.
he came out on that one where he's like a toy maker, and like he doesn't want to leave because he loves making toys, and like death keeps coming for him, and eventually he comes to terms that he's ready to go. Like no, he was a salesman. That's what he was. He was a salesman, and he wanted to make like a big sell before he died. And Death was just like, "All right, I'll wait for you to make that big sell." And eventually he does, and he's just like, "Okay, I'm ready to go." And then there was another Twilight Zone episode he came out in, where he was like the grandpa of the family, and he had to keep winding his clock, otherwise he would die. That's what he believed. If he didn't wind his clock, he would die. And eventually, at the very end, he learns to just let go of it and just embrace life instead of living in fear. And I just thought it was really cool. Twilight Zone episode. Like he gave away his clock and was just like, you know what? I should stop being a slave to it and being afraid of it.
Oh, okay. So it was Leslie T. King as the Mad Hatter in the 1971 film.
Oh my
Yep.
goodness, how
Leslie
wonderful.
T. King.
And was it the same guy in the Twilight Zone?
Oh wait, no, Leslie T. King. Let's see. No. This is a different one. I'm wrong.
Oh,
Let
stupendous.
me find it. I thought that was him. That was Mad Hatter, right? Yeah.
Oh, look. Look at you.
Oh, Edwin. It was Edwin. There you go.
Okay.
Edwin. Let's see. Wikipedia.
Jeez, how long is
Television.
Oh, stupendous.
So he did do stuff with Rod Serling, so I believe he probably was.
this? Okay. Oh, jeez, almost messed that up.
Ooh,
Cause he had that voice, and like he just looked like he played the Mad Hatter. Like his face and everything looked very similar to,
Yeah.
like the design of the cartoon one.
Have you seen the time?
Let's see. Broadway and
Never
film.
met him. Does he have a brother named Big
Yes, The
Ben?
Twilight Zone. 90 years without slumbering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Cause someone he's afraid of dying.
Have my head for this.
Steady. Don't get excited.
What on earth is the matter?
Yeah, okay, it was Edwin there. Yeah, I was losing my mind.
He seemed like a really nice guy.
Mm-hmm. He had, he had inspired a lot of characters like, Professor Puff and stuff. The mayor of, McDonald's Land,
Oh,
like, I mean, all of those, like, really goofy, wacky out there characters that speak like this, or based
Yeah.
off of his one
like
portrayal of the Mad Hatter.
what is it? The freaking Wreck-It Ralph, right? Wreck-It Ralph. What are you doing here?
Exactly. Yep.
Milk my duds, Wreck-It Ralph.
You want to get a guy with glasses? Guy with glasses.
Yeah, and that character does look like him too, which is that's funny. A lot of people probably just like to do a nice nod to him, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he was infinite. I mean, literally looking at his Wikipedia, it's practically like when I got to the films and television and a Broadway, because he also did Broadway. It's just it's like a page long of just that, and it's like, holy shit, he was definitely like a man of his time, which people our age are like, who? It's like everyone who speaks like that is based off of him.
And his name is Edwin?
Ed. Yeah, so no, it's Ed, just ED, and then WYNN. So Ed.
Okay, Edwin.
Base. Yeah. Almost literally one name.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he just goes Edwin, it's like
Edward
Edwin
Wynn.
who? Yes, no, Edwin. Who? Edwin.
That's a good way to remember it, though. His full name is one name.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, it's about that time. We gotta leave the park because it's been 2 hours. We had a good time. I enjoyed having a good talk with Nasota here. D1, I can actually imitate voices, though it's limited to certain things. Dude, that's fine. You keep pushing it. I like doing voices, too. We gotta do voices with each other, then, when I go over there. It'll be fun. But anyways, guys, thank you so much.
He hasn't explained to you he can only do hentai moaning voices.
Oh my gosh, shut up. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We're gonna continue doing this for the rest of my life. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. We're gonna keep having people on. This is gonna just be the new format of this. And I know I've explained this already. I'm just explaining it again. I can't leave!
Next week, they're releasing the DLC, California Adventure.
Is it even over there? Is that California Adventure?
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, no, it is.
Oh yeah, this is California and everything. Alright, y'all.
They have some okay drinks. They have some okay drinks.
That's true. I like the bakery over there. It's really nice. Alright, guys. Take care. Thank you, Josh. I love you too. Kill yourself. For the rest of you... I love all of you guys. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Richard, say bye.
Oh, bye. See y'all in a